What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I will be reviewing and seeing if the iPhone 5S is still usable in 2025. Just for some better information, this is actually a 12-year-old phone. This phone came out back in 2012, so it's older than it looks, actually. This actually feels pretty premium. And yeah, in fact, I did get the new iPhone. So that's where the box came from. But yeah, this kind of still feels like some of the newer iPhones. Like, for reference, here's my iPhone 13. This is my previous phone. Nice looking phone. It still kind of feels the same, just a little smaller. It's because that like those flat edges and the block, like kind of like the blocky design with like the curved edges. So yeah. Did it just die? No, but yeah, it still feels like the newer iPhones, but like smaller. So yeah, that is pretty nice with the iPhone 5S. But it was only supported up from iOS 7 to iOS 12, so you will not get iOS 18 on this device, obviously. But and Touch ID is not the best on here. I think I would say that the iPhone 6S or 7 would have a better Touch ID, but so far has a pretty solid design. And this icons are still similar to iOS 18. Like, here's iOS 18, right? They still are using the same icons, which, like, look at the settings. The camera icon is the same a little bit, except that there's a little bit of a difference. You'll find out if you search up on Google. Everything's the same with the icons, so it still kind of feels like iOS 18 a little bit with the icons and stuff. But this phone might look smooth and fast. It's actually really slow. It's not that good. Like, for reference, if I try scrolling on TikTok, it just like I it's like really hard to scroll. It's like super buggy. So yeah, it's not the best processor, I would say, but the processor's okay. It isn't really old processor. The A7 chip, I think. So, yeah, it's the A7. So yeah, the other downside is that this phone still cannot run some apps. Like, for reference, it won't be able to run YouTube. YouTube does open up, but it won't let you update it because this is not on iOS 15 or later. Because you can go in the App Store, and it takes a really long time to load stuff. Like, the app. Okay, so we're on the App Store, right? It's gonna ask for an update, right? But when I try updating it, even on the top it says iOS 16 or later. So that's the insanely bad part about this phone, is that you will still not get updates. But however, on older Android versions like the Galaxy S9, you can still update everything. It's like a newer Android, but it's like newer software because you can update everything. You can still use it fine. Because before I got an iPhone, it was in early 2024, I was still using this Galaxy S7. I actually still have it right here. So this is my S7 right here. It's not charged, but I was able to use the latest TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram on this device. And this is using the 2017 software. This is Android 7. So, actually Android 8. So these two are actually the same generation software, 2018. iOS 12 was from 2018 with the iPhone XS Max. This was Android 8 with the Galaxy S9 starting, and this still ran newer app versions, and this cannot update. So that's the downsides of older iOS. But other than that, it's still okay to use in 2025 because it supports 4G internet. So you can still make calls and everything. because but if this phone was 3G, you will not be able to call anyone because I think I don't know if this was last year or a couple years ago. The United States 3G service was shut down. So yeah, for here, the camera is actually not that bad for 2013 iPhone, considering that this is a 12-year-old phone. Just like zoom in on the on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and like everything looks clear. And the front facing camera, I don't know, but it is actually pretty good. Yeah, so the selfie camera is good, but when it like reflects the light, I just cleaned it and it's still like a little buggy. Like I mean like a little blurry and after cleaning it. So I can't see what I'm looking at on this. Okay, I can see better. But yeah, that's my Samsung Galaxy A16 being on the camera, the selfie camera. That's the camera right here. So yeah, but there are some good sides. One of the good sides is that this design is super nice and nostalgic because I like the little black markings right here in the aluminum with like the Apple logo. That's a nice feel, and I like the button on. I like the button markings because these are actually inside the metal, engraved in the metal. And these buttons are actually pretty nice, and I kind of like this position better than the side of the buttons. But the best good thing about it is that there's still a headphone jack, which I really miss the headphone jack a lot. But the downs, but there is some okay sides. This thing is super small, right? This is super small. It barely fits in my hand, but I'm still able to use it. And yeah, I'm still able to use it, like, but you know, I can still reach up top easily, but compared to newer phones like my iPhone 16 Pro Max, this is actually the perfect size for my hand because like, you know, the iPhone 13 was still pretty small for my hand. Like it's just the regular size, it's not the mini at all. And this is my old phone. And it's still pretty small. But this phone right here is absolutely the perfect size for my hand, the Pro Max or the Plus models. So that's so yeah. But I still really love the small feel too of this iPhone. When I first got this iPhone a couple days ago, I wasn't expecting it to be this small, but it was this small, and I love it this way. I also love that flash design. It's kind of nice with that rectangular, like pill rectangular type design. And it still supports lightning cable. This is actually one of the first iPhones with lightning port. The iPhone 5 was the first, which is the generation behind this phone. And it still has a really good earpiece speaker. It's actually a little bit better than my iPhone 13's earpiece speaker. But other than that, this is still a pretty solid phone for 2025. It's just that the software is absolutely a little old. This is actually iOS 12. Let me show you real quick. Alright guys, so iOS 12 5.5.7. So yeah, that's the iOS, and that software is actually 8 years old. No, actually 7 years old. And considering that this phone can even handle this software, because sometimes I'll just get really hot It's like getting, oh, it's already getting a little hot, but it would get really hot if you like run TikTok and stuff. And I'm gonna do a little test before the video ends. I can't barely type with this with two hands. The purpose of this small screen is to do everything with one finger or thumb. We're gonna see if I can get the latest version of Roblox. Who gives a crap, right? Who gives a crap? Still have the older version, but for my prediction, I think this phone will crash by running Roblox, and I'm gonna play with one hand. Actually, two. Really difficult. That's gonna be super difficult for me because this is a 4-inch screen, so that is super tiny. But it's just getting really hot by just downloading this app. Let me get a thermal camera. I don't have a thermal camera, but it's just getting really hot. It's getting pretty hot just downloading this app. So, while Roblox is downloading, I just want to talk about how iPhones have improved over the years. So, iPhones were really small, but now they're super big. Hey, can you stop calling? Can't call right now. Like I was saying, iPhones have improved over the years because processor chips were okay, but now they're super fast. Like, they have like, they're pretty fast. You know, some of the chips can like handle some really good games. Like, this has 120 hertz refresh rate, which can handle this. This can handle over, I think, 3000 FPS, which is good, I guess. For me, I don't know about the information, but when it comes to like durability, it has absolutely improved because the iPhone 16 Pro Max is now made out of titanium, which is light and durable too. I'm not gonna break my phone because I just got this like 2 days ago. And older iPhones, like the iPhone 6 Bendgate, this is actually made out. This is the same material that they use for the iPhone 6, not the S, but for the 6, and it bent easy. I'm not gonna do a bend test because I absolutely love this phone and it's nice. But there's some downsides when it came with improving. So the downsides is that Apple phones, specifically iPhones and iPads, they removed the SIM tray. Like, hold on. There's no SIM tray. As you can see, they have absolutely ditched the SIM tray. They actually removed the SIM tray in the iPhone 14, so the last phone to have SIM was the iPhone 13 series, the iPhone 13 mini, regular 13, 13 Pro, and Pro Max were the last iPhones to support SIM. So that sucks. But it has eSIM, and it's a lot harder to transfer eSIM than just switching the SIM card to a newer phone. But like I said, I think this is probably the end of the video for this cute little iPhone. But I absolutely love this phone. If Apple still made phones with the home button this small, both like the newer camera bump, I would absolutely love to use this in 2025. But it can't support the newer software and doesn't have a good processor chip compared to today's phones. But 2013, it had a good processor chip. But I think that's all I have for this video of reviewing an iPhone 5S in 2025. And in my honest opinion, I would rate it like a 7 out of 10. If it was still supportive updates and had a better processor chip, like a good processor chip, then I would rate it like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. But 7 out of 10. I think that is pretty good for a phone that's 12 years old. That's the end of the video for today, guys. And new announcement, tomorrow I will be filming a series of, like, finding ghosts in, like, a forest, because I am going camping tomorrow for 3 days. So that would be pretty fun. And I will be off the grid for 3 days with camper and everything. But for 3 days, we will be doing a series. It's going to be probably more than an hour-long video. And I'll be testing the capabilities, the outdoor capabilities of the iPhone 5S. So this will be in the video too. And I actually did order a case and screen protector, so I can be well protected. But we're gonna test I'm gonna test the hiking capabilities of the iPhone 5S in that video, and I'll have some friends with me, and I will be revealing my face in that video. But that's the announcement for tomorrow. I think it'll be posted by Tuesday. Anyways, guys, Tuesday, Monday, or Sunday. That's my predictions of when I'm gonna post. It's probably gonna be late Sunday, like Sunday night. But anyways, guys, that is it for today's video, and this is a solid phone, but not when it comes to software. It comes with design. Peace.